franktalks.com.
Welcome to Frank Talks People of the Week segment. I'm Zoltan King. This week's Person of the Week is known to those in the know as Midnight Rider. Midnight Rider of the Montreal BDSM community is coordinator of the www.attitudes.ca BDSM resource website. He tells us his personal story about how he got into BDSM and why he lives this lifestyle.
I got into BDSM when I was, or exposed to the lifestyle anyway, at 12 years old. I was playing baseball in the park with a friend of mine, and this girl used to come to the park, and she would always make fun of the two of us, and more particular to my friend. I guess he wasn't as good a baseball player as I was, and one day he got fed up with her making fun of him, I guess, and he ran her down into center field, and he pulled down her pants, and he gave her a spanking. I guess that had the hunt and the chase and the embarrassment or the humiliation or whatever, but she was very red-faced, and needless to say her bottom was a little bit red as well, and she ran home crying, and I guess she wasn't thinking about what it did to her, but I know for myself it really changed my whole lifestyle. I mean, eventually I got a job in Montreal North and happened to walk into a used video store one day, and I was looking for books other than magazines where I can get into more reading and stuff like that. And people were walking into the store asking the owner, "Est-ce que je voir la liste?" And well, one day I got brave enough and I asked if I could also voir la liste. And that was really changed my life. What it was a bunch of videotapes depicting the BDSM lifestyle. There were movies from Japan, England, USA, Germany, pretty much all over the world, and before I knew it, I had every single tape that this guy had, which is about 100 of them or so, and I pretty much needed new blood, so to speak, and started thinking of new ways to find tapes and stuff. So what I did is I found a Contact magazine, and I advertised that I would trade tapes one for one to people who would trade, and also that I was very new to the lifestyle and that I was looking for information on how to learn, and if there was any submissive females who would want to show me the ropes, so to speak, I would be more than willing to obliged. And that really changed everything. I started getting a serious tape collection. I met some male dominants in Montreal. I got a couple of letters from female submissives who were going to show me the ropes, so to speak, from the bottom up. And I pretty much never looked back, and it was very difficult back then because there was no internet. You had to actually write long letters and stuff like that. I remember in my 20s, I was extremely shy about what I did. To me, making love was taking a woman over my knee and giving her a spanking, and I noticed that some women thought I was very sick or weird, and other women liked it very much when I would tie them up. There was several years where, I stayed at home and watched my videos and stuff like that, and thought maybe I would grow out of it or something like that. Thought it was very strange. I equate it similar to what homosexuals probably had to go through and probably still do. It's something that doesn't go away. It stays there forever and ever. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's safe, sane, and consensual, what you do behind closed doors is totally fine. Well, there's certainly a couple of things. Number one, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of trust involved, and when somebody offers me the gift of their submission or their trust, I certainly get a high off that as well. I also do enjoy playing with newbies. And I guess because of the spanking scene that I described earlier, I do have a bottom fetish, and I do like to do a lot of spankings. I also like to be able to take control of somebody's body for the scene or the session. So I like to do some orgasm control to try and keep them at the peak without bringing them off the edge for as long as possible. And obviously when you're playing with a new partner, that's very difficult. You have to play with someone a few times until you learn their touch and their moves and their turn-ons.
And that was another edition of Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles People of the Week segment. I'm Zoltan King. Be well.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
If you need help with your relationships, my buddy Frank, he's got some tips. Just go to franktalks.com. His advice is better than your mom's. He knows what you're going through, Frank has been there too. So log on to franktalks.com. franktalks.com.
Need help with love, sex, dating, or relationship issues? Help from Frank Kermit, the best-selling author and Canada's most international relationship coach, is only a click away at franktalks.com.